The average Paul Kagame supporter, How Rwanda Learned to Clap in Unison. Written by Gabriel Ndayishimiye. Part 1. Thursday, January 17th, 2015. They don't scare me, the loud ones. The men who shout Kagame's name as if it were a charm against death, as if repeating it could buy them 5 more minutes of breath. No, they are simple, mechanical. A man yelling in sync with the television is not a mystery. He is a tool, and tools are predictable. What unnerves me are the quiet ones, the ones who nod slowly during speeches, eyes locked on the screen, not out of fear, but something worse, conviction. They have talked themselves into it. They have stared at the void so long they started decorating it, hung curtains in it, called it home. These are the men who correct you gently if you speak too plainly. They say things like, "It's more complicated than that," or "Let's not dwell on the past," or "You should be careful with your words." Not threats, advice. Like someone reminding you to zip up your coat before stepping into a blizzard. Practical, loving even. They tell themselves they are protecting something. Their families, their futures, their sense of control. But look closely, and you'll see it. The little flicker in the eyes. They know. Deep down, they know the truth doesn't match the poster. They just can't afford the fallout of admitting it. Not to you, and certainly not to themselves. One man I know, he works in planning, urban development, some such thing, talks about the president the way a parishioner talks about God. Not out of worship, but out of exhaustion. His praise is tired, reflexive. I once asked him, "Do you really believe all this?" And he smiled in that way people do when they're deciding whether to betray the regime or themselves. He chose himself. He told me, "I believe in stability." And then he walked away because the conversation had reached its edge. And there are thousands like him, smiling, nodding, working late, keeping their heads down. They carry the regime like a second spine, rigid, implanted, always slightly aching. Some of them have sons who dream of leaving. Some of them had brothers who vanished. Some of them, I'm sure, want to scream, but screaming is not part of the dress code. So they fold their rebellion into small habits, silent meals, empty stares, books read behind curtains, or worse, they bury it all together, and soon there is nothing left but the role, the voice, the performance, and they perform it well. But me, I forget my lines sometimes. I step out of rhythm. I look too long at the cracks in the wall, and I write. Not because I believe it will change anything, but because I no longer know how to do anything else.